What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy right here, man. MMA Reloaded. We are live and direct, man, for another episode of MMA Reloaded on the mic, episode 34, folks. So tonight, I am back live with another fighter, with another standout on the UK scene, fighting at Almighty Fighting Championships. I'm here with Adam Gomez. I'm going to be joined by Adam Gomez. As I said, Adam Gomez is a standout on the UK scene, 4-1 as an amateur. And he will be competing as part of Almighty Fighting Championships return here in 2021. So it'll be great to catch up with Adam Gomez, folks. He'll be joining us in about 10 minutes at 4:30. So, folks, as as I do this show, yeah, and even before I do this show right now, I want to just clarify the Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw, that basically the judges fuck ups at UFC Vegas 32. People are calling Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw robbery, but it's not a robbery. And I'll tell you that right now. It's not a robbery for 3 reasons. One, TJ Dillashaw was the more active fighter the whole time. He was the one engaging and moving forward. That counts. They point you for aggression. All right? They give you points for aggression. Number 2, control time. He had Sandhagen's back. He took Sandhagen down. Yeah? So takedowns compared to Sandhagen's no takedowns. So judges score that. Yeah? And then number 3, you got significant strikes. Judges score those. And you've got the round by round activity. That's all it is. Round by round activity. And that's what judges are scoring that fight on. Bro. Listen, if Corey Sandhagen was engaging, was piecing up Dillashaw, wasn't even letting Dillashaw come inside, and he was just jabbing him up and touching him up and using angles, Dillashaw wasn't getting anything off, then yeah, then I would have been a pro. Then I would have said something. But Dillashaw was coming in. He was leaning beautifully there with his left hand. When he leaned in with that left hand, he would catch Corey Sandhagen on that entry, and then he would move inside, get in close, and throw these straights and throw the hooks, the straight hook combination. You see, that's where TJ Dillashaw caught Corey Sandhagen up. And this is why I had a problem with the commentary, was that they were talking a lot more about Corey Sandhagen. You know what I'm saying? They were sort of bigging up how good Corey Sandhagen is, which he is. He is one of the best in the world right now at 135 pounds. And, there is no doubt that Corey Sandhagen is destined for bigger and better, for big things. And possibly, you could do Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. Yeah? Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. I'll tell you that right now. Corey Sandhagen, Rob Font. If TJ wants to wait for the winner of Jan and Sterling, you wait for the winner of Jan and Sterling. But for now, I would give Corey Sandhagen and Rob Font to do business with. TJ, if he wants to fight sooner than the Sterling and Jan fight, I would give him, Cody Garbrandt called him out. Would I like to see the trilogy? Yes, because I want to see, because when you got Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw in the same octagon, you can't take your eyes off it. Those two guys are so good. They're so fast. That it's going to be non-stop action the third time even, and I want to see if Cody brings something new if they do make that fight, but I like Rob Font versus Corey Sandhagen up next. I think that it makes sense. You got Rob Font at number 3, 4 in the rankings. So and Corey Sandhagen came in number 1. So I think it's a number 2. Sorry. So I think it's a logical fight to make. So folks, we're going to do the particulars right now, and I'm going to invite Adam Gomez here on the show. He'll be fighting at Almighty Fighting Championships, folks. This part next month. So Adam Gomez will come on the show, folks, and I'm excited to have him on to chat about Almighty Fighting Championships, his debut, and his record of 4-1 as an amateur, and so much more, folks. So later, while we wait for Adam Gomez to join out, I just want to say that it's a great time to be an MMA fan here in the UK. You've got Almighty Fighting Championships starting August the 7th, and they kick off in September. In October, you got in December as well. So Ray Thompson, the man who behind the man behind the show at Almighty is sort of bringing it action packed and stacked and jacked and right to us, folks. And they're great cards, excellent cards, man. You got you got some of the best standouts on the amateur scene and on the professional scene. And same thing, folks. August the 21st, Cage Steel 26. Of course, I will be there. If you wanna come down and meet MMA Reloaded, I'll be there, folks. But yeah, but we will get to Cage Steel 26, of course. Very, very soon, folks, where I will be sitting with some of the great athletes sitting on competing on the Cage Steel 26 card as well. But Almighty Fighting Championships, folks, this is where I think now that it's the return of Almighty, and I think UK MMA is starting to kick back off again with Battle Arena, and you have Cage Warriors back off, and in Ireland you have Clan Wars and these things, I think it's only going to get better and better and better. Some of these guys, folks, some of these fighters are unbelievable. They are actually just unbelievable to watch. UK standouts to actually watch out for. Yeah, from Adam Bramhall to George Staines to Connor Hughes. Marlon Jones, who is the Almighty FC Bantamweight champion. You got two veterans headlining August the 7th with Johnny Brocklesby, who I hope to be sitting with as well, folks, against Richard Mearns. And that's going to be a great fight to headline August the 7th. You got, great. You got amateurs on the card with it. You got guys like Jay Metcalf. You got, Aaron Givens, guys like this, folks. And if you don't know who these guys are, search them up, including this man that I'll be sitting with, Adam Gomez. Yeah, folks, a Manchester Mexican, 4-1 in his amateur career. All 4 wins by knockout, all 4 wins by stoppage, folks. Under 2-minute mark in the first round. All it's amazing. The guy's a killer, man. And of course, he served his nation. He served the nation in the army, so we'll be talking about that too. Not going into too much depth with it, but yeah, I mean, it's folks, it's going to be a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks, wherever you're tuning in from. And yeah, man, I if you're not a fan of amateurs in MMA, whether it's in the States or whether you're here in the UK, I suggest you become a fan and become a fan real quick. these amateurs are hungry. They are just there to compete, to pick at every opportunity they have to go and compete. And this is why, sorry, it's so entertaining to watch these regional shows. You're basically going in there and just just with your jaw dropped if you're in the crowd, because these guys just, they're so young. Yeah, some of these amateurs, they go as young as 16. They're so young, and that they're so built with fire and just passion. It's pretty, it is pretty unbelievable once they start going, man, all out. You know. So yeah, folks, you can see that at Almighty Fighting Championships. If you've got your tickets, go get your tickets, man. So you can you can get all the information on fights and events on Facebook at Almighty Fighting Championships. It's a great promotion. I've known Ray for a long time. It's going to be a great show. They're going to be great shows. He's stacking the cards up. So it's always, when cards are this stacked, it's hard to pick out one fight that really stands out to you. But I guess, if you're there live, then you can see and witness the card in its entirety, and just enjoy it. That's what it's all about. It's all about enjoying it, and that's why these cards are so stacked. Is because now that COVID and lockdown is easing off. Although it's still there, the threat is still there, but it is easing off. So it gives promoters a bit of a chance to really, put shows back on again. You've got fighter after fighter after fighter after fighter wanting to go and fight. It does, bring a lot of attention once you start putting shows back on again. Fighters just want to go, they want to get back to work. So that's why I guess, these cards are so stacked with 25, 30 plus fights. You can't really put a finger on it, but it's going to be action packed, folks. That is no doubt about that. Some of these kids, some of these studs just go out there and give it everything. And especially the championship fights for George Steins and Marlon Jones, two of the biggest and brightest standouts in the UK today, defending their belts. But that is going to be something to really look out for sure, folks. So we are going to be joined live, folks, by Adam Gomez. Hopefully, folks, in the next couple of minutes. And yeah, folks. So it's these regional promotions. I'll tell you that right now. The regional promotions, everyone starts off at the regionals, right? And you're basically, you're basically going into this pit of just into this pit. Yeah, it's literally a pit, a chamber of just young studs in the same boat as yourself, doing a business, doing the same thing and wanting to achieve the same goals that you want to achieve too in this sport. And that's what makes it so exciting, in my opinion, bro. So, folks, we're gonna be back live, folks, with Adam Gomez. Hopefully, folks, in the next couple of minutes, he can join up. There he is, folks. We are just about ready to go through. No, I can't hear you. Hey, Adam. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. I'm very well, man. First of all, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's probably busy in preparation for my fighting championships. But I wanted to catch up with you before you go off into action. So of course, for fans who aren't familiar with Adam Gomez, tell me how did it all start for you martial arts and combat sports?
To be honest, mate, from like a young age and that, I used to go to a place in Manchester, in Witherton, karate place. Used to go there with an old guy. He was old school, an Irish guy called Jim Collins, mate. He's passed away sadly now, but he was a really nice guy. I used to go there on a Monday, Wednesday, and then on a Saturday morning. Grandad used to drop me down, and then from there, mate, I was boxing for a bit, boxed quite a while, and then moved on to MMA at a certain age. A place called, it was Manchester Ground and Pound. It was called then, with guys like Danny Ram. There's loads of people there. That's where Brendan Loughnane was there. Kane Moosey was all there. There's a lot of people was there, and then obviously with Moss Side Ground and Pound, Manchester Ground and Pound with Ozzy Hallock, Danny Rogerson was there. Loads of these big influential Manchester guys were there. Yeah, it was all right.
So I was going to actually touch on that a bit later on, but did you start your? Have you been at Manchester Ground and Pound? Are you still at Manchester Ground and Pound?
No, mate, no. So I had a massive hiatus. So when Manchester Ground and Pound, it changed to a place called MMA Studio. So I think Ozzy and I don't know if Danny stops coaching. I've seen online now that him and Andrew DeBent have opened up Manchester Ground and Pound 2.0. But when Ozzy had left, he opened up another gym called MMA Studio. So Ashley Reese, Javon Morrison, all those guys are there. So I was training there for a while. David Whitehead now, he's still competing. He's fighting out of Fight Factory in Haywood. There was all those guys, but no. So what happened was I was working, and then I decided I'll do something else. So I ended up joining the army.
Yeah.
So obviously I moved away, massive time away. I was based down south for a long time at first before I moved back up north, and then I eventually got stationed to Blackpool, and I went to a place called ITC Gym, and I've not left there, to be honest.
How was that change for you to, of course, because you're still so young in your career as it stands? How was that transition and change for you to actually move around down south and down to Blackpool?
To be honest, mate, I'm not. I've said it before. I was on a podcast a few weeks ago. I said, like, the army pays my bills. Do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I'm never going to be that guy. I'm going to make a run at the UFC. And in fact, I do it because I enjoy it. I've got a group of like-minded mates. So as it stands now, my training team. So Kevin Fryer, you probably heard of him. He's fought in Bellator, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Stephen Hewitt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Jeff Thomas, purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, but professional boxer. So they're who I train with regularly. And now I've also started working with Matt Wilby down at the lab, Lanchana Green. Yeah, so I'm getting about it. This is nothing but a hobby. That's all it is. It's just a hobby. I don't take it too serious. I've said the same thing before. When people start saying, "Oh, it's going to be a war," this is not going to be a war. We're going in a fight. We're having an athletic competition. That's exactly what it is. People can hype it up all they want, but this is not going to be a war.
No, I mean, people often say that about you because of your record, and of course the finishes, 4-1, 4 finishes under 2 minutes, and I guess that sort of runs through people's minds when they see Adam Gomez on the fight card, and they think it's going to be another one of those.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, when it was the one, that one was the one, like that one, I did not look good in that fight. I got a beating in that fight, but then again, I took it on 2 weeks' notice. It was a stupid thing to do. I won't be doing it again. There's nothing big or clever about it.
I mean, Adam, even just 4 fights in your career at that time, and you faced one of the biggest prospects in UK amateur MMA today, in Ibrahimov. What of course, for your experience and just to learn from that fight, was it beneficial in that regard?
Yeah, 100%. It was beneficial because I think everyone's got that feeling, don't they, of like what they're going to be like when they get put in them situations. You've seen it, haven't you? You watch fights, oh bloody hell, and Kevin Fry and Big Kev Fry, like I always relate him back to him. Like we've had these conversations before. There are them points where someone's hitting you, and they are hitting you, and you're getting a beating, and if I just turn to my side slightly here, I could call time limits and get the ref to jump in. But then on the other hand, you've got to live with it, haven't you? You've got to know. Well, did he actually? I'd rather go out, me. I'd be honest with you. I'd rather get knocked. I'd rather take a few more licks and get knocked out then just give up. You get nothing from giving up, do you? How are you going to find out who you are if you just give up?
I mean, that sort of plays into the personality of the fighter, right, Adam? And I guess you could be too confident or not confident enough. And do you think that guys that are too arrogant and don't have that humble bone in their body do sort of think that way, that if I give up I look like a coward and I look like this and that? Is that
and it's not a thing like for me personally, it's nothing to do with cockiness. Like I've said it before, like I am nowhere near like the most talented heavyweight in this country. I'm nowhere near it. And all these guys out there that you get these genetic freaks and they can just do all this mad stuff, whether it's flexibility, striking power, speed, whatever. But I know I'm hard. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm a tough guy, so I'm not going to be one of those guys that ever rolls over. If someone's in a fight with me, I'm not just going to be a guy, oh, go on, get that arm bar on, then I'll go on, just hit me a few times. And it's not going to happen. I'm going to go in there and either I'm like, as you've seen, I'm going to go for a finish. I'm not going to try and get a decision, but it's one of them. It's, I'm either going to win and it's going to be quick, or I'll get beat on points, right? Or I might win a point decision, but I'm telling you this time, this is a whole different me now. Like the cardio wise, everything. I'm meant to be away with the army again now. Luckily, I've got back today. I'll be going away tomorrow, and then I'll be back in a few weeks. But it's the cardio is not going to be an issue for me this time. Like you'll see on the weigh-ins, none of this like baby gut fucking hanging out. Sorry for swearing. None of this baby gut hanging out stuff like that. There's no yogurt body here this time, mate. I'm telling you, I'm different now.
And when we talk about training, and we talk about your cardio, and we talk about training camps in particular, how has training camp been going for you? Have you started training for the fight as of yet?
Yeah, well, I hope so, mate. The fight's in 2 weeks, so do you know what I mean? We're a bit late.
I actually forgot whether it was September or August.
No. I'll be honest. I got asked to fight on a September one, but again, this is that thing of people go, yeah, I fight on a September one. I'm not going to say I'm going to fight on a September one because anything could happen. After I got out of that fight with Ibrahim, mate, some of the shots I took to the back, I got some photos sent to me last night. Actually, I some of the punches I took to the back end. I don't know what ref was looking at. I'm just glad he didn't stop it. But I was like, oh no, but I had a bad cut, so I'll never look past anyone. Like Cameron Chamberlain's a hard lad. You know what I mean? I've got nothing bad to say about him. We've spoken. He seems like a nice guy. I wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. We was meant to fight last year. Just a case of instead of doing this thing where we try and fight people, then it gets to 2 days before, then someone pulls out. It was just easier for me and him just to fight each other, and that's why we're doing it.
100%. And 2 weeks out. When you do training camps, Adam, do you usually mix up your routine, or would you like to keep it strict, and do you like to keep it sort of?
No, he can't. This is the thing. It can't be strict because with the army. So 1 week ago, I could plan a GSP training camp, right? And after 2 minutes, my phone will go off, WhatsApp will go off, and it'll be work, and it's like, right, this has come up. So you can't have none of this. You can't hold anything. You can't plan too far ahead. The amount of, like last weekend, for example, on Saturday morning was meant to be with Kev and Steve and that, and then something came up, had to sort something at work, or so just do what you can. You know what I mean? Just get down there. So I'll train. I'll be training tonight, and then again on Thursday, Friday, I'll be with Kev Fryer. I think Steve will be down potentially on the Friday as well. But it's just there's no excuses, is it? It's 9 minutes. You've got weeks to get your body ready for 9 minutes of fitness. Should be able to get it done.
I mean, they say that it's 90% mental and 10% physical, right? And your training is sort of harder than the fight itself. Is that a feeling? Is that something that you sort of pick up from this?
I would say I think I get a lot of confidence in the fact of, especially like training with the likes I said there. So I'm never with them, especially with them three. So just start with the I'll just call it like the black pill, like the ITC lot. So with Kev Fryer and Stephen Hewitt, I'm never going to be able to out-grapple them. Never going to be able to outstrike Kev. I'm never going to be able to outstrike Jeff. So every single time's learning with them. I'm never going to win a round against them, and I don't want to win a round against them because that means that, like, you know what I mean. It's not serving a purpose. They push me all the time. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'll go in there and get battered every day because it doesn't work like that. But it's a case of he's a middleweight. he's a big middleweight, and same thing with Steve. These are a lot bigger than me, but the fact that they've got enough strength and can handle certain situations, and I can get brought through situations is good. And then just touch on like Martin Wilby. I've only been training with Martin Wilby at the lab for a couple of weeks, but like the way he teaches and the mental side of it for me is a big thing for me. But often, like when we finish class, we'll sit and we'll just talk about things, and just terms of like breaking things down, whether it's things like nerves, or he's big on visualization and stuff like that. So we'll just talk about it's just interesting, isn't it? It's just interesting to get a different thing, because there's nothing worse than like being when I was going, oh yeah, it's going for a cage fight, smash him, kill him. I'm like, mate, I'm not into that. I'm like having a laugh, you know what I mean? I'm not into all this.
And when you have, as you said, when you have Kevin, when you have Steve, when you have Marty, is how beneficial is that for you to have that sort of experience and those types of coaches around you, and giving you that guidance and that push that obviously you need at this stage.
Yeah, you can't really put money, can you? Because these people, like everyone's got like misses, everyone's got kids, and then especially I like when I'm training in Blackpool on them Saturday mornings, like sometimes we're getting there at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. That's like so Kev's in the army as well, but like Jeff and Steve, they've both got full-time jobs. That's them, morning off, and they're getting up and they're doing what I mean. So it means like you can't put anything on it. But I think the most important thing is we're not just like training partners. You know what I mean? We're not just like sometimes you see people Jimmy just speak and like we're all mates. Like we went to Kev's wedding. You know what I mean? And that's it for me. I think it's just more of having that thing of your mates have got your back, and that means a lot, doesn't it?
So having that environment, and it seems like more of a family environment, a family type environment.
100%.
Yeah, and Adam, for fighters, and especially for fighters coming in and as amateurs and young in their careers, having a gym environment where you can feel comfortable, where you can sort of focus, and where you have a rapport with your coaches and with your teachers, with your sparring partners. How important is that for you? Whether you're going into a fight or a fight, or just going in for regular training sessions.
Well, I'll give you an example. So last week I was training again with Martin Wilby, and it was meant to be a jiu-jitsu session, but the heat was horrendous, especially in a lab there. It gets hot, and everyone had like a lot of people, I think, had decided not to train that night. They probably got the barbecues and the beers on, so it ended up. So for that hour, I think it's 4 people, but Martin took that full time. He basically just turned it into a private. We're just going through stuff with him, back cage position, takedown, all this kind of stuff, and that again shows his thing, because a lot of coaches I've been there at other gyms before where they've gone, oh, we've only got 3 or 4 turn up, we'll just call it a night tonight. He was like, no, that we'll just use the time and we'll work. And again, you've got to appreciate people, I think.
100%. And are you the type of guy to sort of after a fight go into the gym and say to Kev or say to Steve or say to Mike, you know what, can we watch my fight back here? Because there's something I wasn't happy with, and I want to train it. I want to sort of learn and train on it again. Is that something you would do?
Yeah, 100%. But then again, we've been friends in that. I think people step across the boundaries as well. Like after that Ibrahim fight and that, I went up to Kevin that. He's like, he was having a laugh. He was like, yeah, you got smashed then. But it wasn't you got smashed, go and feel sorry for yourself. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You stepped in there on 2 weeks, and you've got in there, like, as you said, one of the best featherweights. And that's the thing, though. Like, you've got to get confidence, right? If he's one of the best featherweights in Europe, and I'm coming in there with a beer belly, getting straight off. Like, I was on the Rangers with the army 2 days before. Like, and lads watching this now will vouch for it. I was eating baby food, mate, and going for runs in the middle of cat trick training area to try and lose weight for this thing. I was like, it's not going anywhere. But again, yeah, that's the experience, man.
What the fuck, man? To me, that just sounds fucking crazy. But I guess like when you do take fights, like have you? Was that the first short notice fight you actually? That's
the only one. I think that's the only one. That's the only one.
Did you do it again?
No. To be fair, do you know what? I'll be honest because like, yeah, at that time, mate, I needed something. I needed some kind of release. It wasn't without going into any detail. Personally, it wasn't one of the best times for me, and I felt I needed to do something. And then that kit. So it came about. Jeff Thomas, he'd made his boxing comeback, and he was boxing during the COVID pandemic, and then Carl Prince messaged me and said, "Oh, this fight's come up. Do you want it?" I was like, "Do you know what? Yeah, just something to take my mind off it." And yeah, I wouldn't have done it again now. I think I would have handled things differently. But again, it's just one of those. What would you call it? It was just an outlet at the time.
And when you are, and I want to talk about, of course, your time in the army, because of course that's a big part of your life. And you know, first of all, thank you for the service. But what was the prompt really? Well, what prompted you to make the decision to join the army?
So yeah, so growing up then, basically, grew up living with my mum, two brothers. My eldest brother Stephen. Stephen's more like my dad. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have dad growing up. He was there in your team every now and then and whatever. But yeah, so I was with Stephen all the time, no matter what. If Stephen's went football, I went and watched him play football. 100%. Never once in my entire life has my brother let me down. If I could ring him right now and go, Stephen, I need this, he'd 100% do it for me, and I'd do the same for him. So when I finished college, and when I was in college and that, he was a manager of a cinema, and he's like, "I'll get you a job. I'll get you a job there." So he got me a job there. And then when I finished college, all my mates were applying for uni and that. I just being from that area, being from that Moss Side Rusholme area, I was looking at prices of these universities, and I was like, "What? How much is that for 3 years? Are you mad?" I was like, I don't fancy this." And then for some reason, the army had this like day where went and go and see like the Marines and the army and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna go and have a look. And I went and had a look, and then I was thinking in my head, I thought I could get paid this much to go and learn how to do this, or I could pay this much to potentially go and do this in a market where what I was interested in is quite it's quite diluted. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people wanted to do the things I wanted to do when I was at college. So I was like, you know what, a bit different. I'm gonna go and join the army.
What state? What part of the army were you a part of? Was it the?
So when I initially joined the army, and I was in the Royal Army Medical Corps. So you go and do first time away, I'd probably been away from home. My brother will vouch for this. I didn't even tell my mum I was in the army for the first 3 months. She thought I was just away because she's a warrior. Do you know what I mean? The second I told her like I'm in the army, she's like, "Oh, you'll be getting shot at and all this." So we didn't even tell her. My big brother knew where I was, and that was it. And then one day she got told, "Oh, Adam's passing out." She's like, "Passing out from where?" Like, "He's in the army." So yeah, so I don't know, just over 3 months down south in Purbright there. Transferred. Then I was in the Army Medical Corps for a bit, and then but then I transferred. I transferred to the Duke of Lancaster's regiment, which would have been the local regiment, formerly the Manchester and Kings regiment. So I went to them because they were due for deployment to Afghanistan. Went out to Afghanistan with them. Stay with them for a number of years and enjoy my time there. And then last year, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna lie about anything. Last year there was an incident where I may have got in trouble at work for something I believe I shouldn't have got in trouble for. A long story short, I got reduced in rank and I got an option to either stay or leave. And I was like, well, I don't believe I should have got reduced in rank for that. So I left. And then I transferred to a different regiment, but it's fine because I got promoted again straight away, so it's not a big drama to me. So it just shows that's the thing with the army, mate. Sometimes because there's that many people in it, sometimes if people hold a grudge from one time, the second they get an opportunity to get it back, they'll do it. But yeah, for that particular Sergeant Major who sees this, I still think you're a gimp and I still don't like you. So there we go. Simple as that.
I guess that experience for you was looking back at it and looking back on the army and your time there. Are you still an active member of the army or?
Yeah. I'm 100% still in. Yeah, I'm still in as it stands at the minute. Yeah.
So I mean, so I was gonna say, looking back at it, but as it stands, what lessons, what has being in the army taught you? As a man, personally or professionally?
So I think the first thing, mate, is don't ever take your friends for granted. Do you know what I mean? So all my friends. So like this fight, I've got loads of friends coming. So I've had to try and get extra tickets. I've got a lot of friends coming to this fight, and that's win, lose or draw. Win, lose or draw. My mates will turn up. If they get beat, they'll be the first people to rip their foot. And then once you've had a drink, I'm only joking. I'm proud of you. I won't have the balls getting there. And you can't put a price on friends like that. I've got a lot of good friends, but then getting back to it as well. In terms of the past couple of years, especially disregarding like the conflict related, i.e. Afghan. We've lost quite a few lads through suicide in the past couple of years. So I think it makes you take stock of making sure you check up on those friends. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have down days and they don't realise it's down days, and then they see it as that's it. You know. So yeah.
You know, when you're in the army, you know, there are these sort of people do talk about life after the army and what soldiers do after they leave, and you see a lot of homeless soldiers, and I know I work in London, and there are a lot of veterans, and is that the what do you think is important for a guy to do after he leaves or she leaves the army?
So this is where it comes into it. So I understand a lot of people leave the army in a condition they didn't join it in, i.e. whether it's mentally or physically okay. But by the same token, if I've been given, in my case, a 24-year contract, and I'm on a good wage, as a man, it's my responsibility to make sure I'm financially stable when I get out of the army. It's not the army's fault. For example, if I worked at Asda and then I finished my contract at Asda, people would not be in uproar going, Asda never sorted me out when I left. It's Asda's fault. But because it's the army and people have done certain things, I think there's a sense of entitlement. Now, I understand gripes from both sides, and some people do get messed over by the system, whether it's medical discharge and don't get the appropriate payouts. 100%, they've got all my sympathy, and that's wrong. That is wrong. But you get a lot of people that maybe do 3 or 4 years in the army, and these are a lot of the ones that are begging on the streets that are saying, I was in the army and I was in this. Because if anyone's got any amount of integrity about them, they wouldn't sit on the street and be like, feel sorry for me. They'd be up off their ass trying to get a job. And that's as simple as that. The army gives you all the skills necessary, and it gives you all the courses available that you want to do when you get out to make sure you have a successful transition to civilian street. If I wanted to now, I know I could get out right now and I'd be absolutely fine. Like, it wouldn't be a drama.
And is that what would you say that MMA has helped you, Adam, sort of have that balance in your career and in your life, to have the army and to have MMA as well?
Yeah, I just think I don't think the MMA it's got absolutely nothing to do with the fighting side of it. I like training, and I like my mates at the gym. It's as simple as that. Like, a lot of people's mates, they'll be like, they'll go out to the pub every night, or they'll go and do pool, or they'll go and do something that's what would you call it, like a common theme within their lives. MMA is just a common theme in my life and my friends' lives, and we just all get on with it, and we all have a laugh. If I was at that gym every night and it was just hard training, there was no one having a laugh and no talking, I wouldn't go. I'll be honest. I'm not there just to go train hard and not have a laugh. Don't get me wrong. I go and train hard, and I do train hard, but I'm not going just for that, mate. You need to have some kind of like release, don't you? You know what I mean?
100%. Like, if you're not enjoying it, there's no point.
What am I running like? What am I going running for every day and losing weight and doing all this and watching what I eat and weighing what I eat? If at the end of it, I'm just going to get moaned at. You know what I mean?
And do you have the ambition at the end of it to become a professional in mixed martial arts, or is that still to be decided?
No, I don't think it's to be decided. I think everyone should have a bucket list of what they want to do. Like, I only really wanted to have one amateur fight and see how it went then, but then I started enjoying it. So when it comes to it, yeah, I probably will have a couple of pro fights. Whether it's to just say I've done it, and then, because I'm not one of those people that wants to hit 50, 60 years old and then go, oh, I wish I'd done this, or I wish I'd done that. You know what I mean? I'd rather do it. Like, I spoke to my mate Jeff. We have a joke about it all the time, but Jeff stopped boxing for 7 years and made his comeback at 37. So he had 7 years there, and I think I don't want to do that. I'd rather get it out of the way now than have an itch when I'm like 37, 38 to go, you know what, I'm gonna have another go at it.
I mean, you know what actually annoys me is that people think 37 or 40 is old, and it's not. You know,
No,
it's up to the person himself, right? It's the shape you keep yourself in, or it's the motivation that you have to go back in there and lose the unwanted pounds. go back and actually continue to fight or to do.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you can avoid the injuries, because obviously in this game there's a lot of injuries, isn't there? But as long as you can avoid the injuries, you keep yourself fit, you look after yourself, you'll be fine. Like, yeah, I think that's one of the main things. Just look after yourself. If you sat there every night eating like packets of crisps with chocolate, watching Netflix, yeah, it's probably not going to be for you, is it? You have 2-3 years out, there's no comeback from that, all right? Or if it is, it'd be like one of the big like inspirational fucking Instagram videos that's on for 5 minutes where you see people crying and that. I've got no time for it, mate. I've got no time for these people who make TikToks and that and like make you try and feel sorry for him.
To be honest, I fucking hate those guys. But now to making your almighty debut as well.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, good, mate. To be honest, so I didn't realize how much of a small world it is. Like one of my favorite books growing up was that Watch My Back by Jeff Thompson, and I didn't realize that's like Ray's uncle or cousin or something like that. It was just a bit of a small world. I might ask him to get it signed for me. Something I used to love it. Honestly, mate, I used to love it. But no, it's good because it's it's a big show. Lot, and just the fact that the amount of people that can come. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a good night out in Barnsley or Sheffield or wherever we end up after it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all my mates coming. Most minus that Celtic Gladiator, all my other fights was on Bulldog, which is another good show, which is run by a friend of mine called Chris Clark. I'll probably end up fighting on there again by the end of the year. But yeah, this one, Almighty, I like it. I like the amount of what do you call it? They put a lot of like money into the production of it, don't they? It doesn't look cheap. Like some of them you watch, it looks like something off a crap Channel 5 film after 5 o'clock. But this one looks all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the production value, basically.
Yeah, the production value just looks better, doesn't it? It doesn't look like an extra in a Rocky film or something. You know what I
mean? No.
Yeah.
That's why I always say it's better to watch these things live because people are seeing that it's got 30 or 25 fights on the card. And,
yeah.
Who the fuck's gonna watch this? And I always go live and watch it. And
are you going to this one?
I'm going to the one in September, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so August is a bit of a busy one for me. You know what I mean? So at the time of the month. So no, yeah, I mean, when you go to fight at different promotions, Adam, is there a certain amount of pressure that comes with that too, or do you feel like okay, once I fought here, I can fight anywhere?
No, not really, mate. I'll be honest. No, none of it. I don't really care. It's the same thing. I'm there, right? I'm there with my mates from back home, and they'll be in the changing room with me, and that's that.
I actually love them, and you know what I mean. That family and friends are mean that much to you to keep you like, yeah, man. As long as my family is there, that's cool. Some of my friends are there, that's cool with me. And then of course you were talking about your brother, and I've got a brother too, and I know the exact I know the sort of trust and relationship that you have, and yeah, is that sort of something that inspires you and motivates you daily?
Yeah, so yeah, 100%. Because it's like as I said, I rang my brother the other week and said to him, "Oh, I'm fighting on this show, blah blah blah. Are you working?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm working." I'm like, all right, no worries. He's like, "What do you mean, no worries? I'm booking it off now. Wait." Like, let me ring my mates and see how many comes. He always brings loads of his mates with him as well. And then you can hear him, mate, above everyone else. You can just hear him shouting. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's at some. Don't know if that's like a what do you call it, like a paternal thing, like you can hear your dad and you kind of, who's shouting there? You look out and it's my brother ready to storm the cage. You know what I mean? He's like 16 years older than me, mate, or something, or 14 years older than me. Just yeah, but he's still got that big brother strength. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, that's what makes us younger siblings a bit more a bit inferior, when our big brother comes. Yeah,
that's it.
Definitely not. I mean, it's that's what it's all about. It's all about family. It's all about friends. It's all about just enjoying what you do at the end of the day. And I'm glad you have that mentality, and you're not, pulling your hair up because you never train hard enough, or because you didn't do that or this. It's Adam, when you come into fights, what is the mentality? What does go through your mind, when you step in the fence, because of how calm you are?
So I think I think it used to be like a nervousness, like a fear of, oh no, what's going to happen here? But now it's not that, like I'm not made of glass. And I mean, you asked me before about, well, was the lessons learned in that previous fight? Yeah, of course it was. I wasn't made of glass, and I know I'm tough. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a case of just go and enjoy it, because one day I'm not going to be able to do it. Just go out, enjoy it, win, lose or draw, go for the win. You know what I mean? Hope for the worst. Sorry, hope for the best. Expect the best. But if the worst happens, the worst happens. No, all my friends are going to still think the exact same of me. All my family's going to think the exact same of me. Nothing's going to change. On to the next one. But with this, yeah. But don't get me wrong. I'm not coming to lose this. I know Cameron's going to be shooting from halfway across the cage, and I know he is. And I think he's probably watched that Ibrahim fight and thought, oh, Adam's not wrestling. But you'd be surprised.
I mean, I hope I know we're going to be in for a surprise there with that one, because, of course, you learn from those types of fights like we talked about before, So yeah, of course, I hope Adam Gomez does show a bit of that surprise element to the game. But yeah, definitely, I wish you all the best of luck going into August for 2 weeks out. But yeah, no, it's been great talking to you, Adam. I hope it all goes well, rest of training, and I hope the fight goes your way, man.
No worries, bro. I'll speak to you soon, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for coming up.